The 2023 NBA Draft literally just came and went a few days ago, so we're now at the part of the year where the new young rookies are getting acclimated to their new homes, and the fans are getting to know what kind of players their favorite teams just added. We haven't even seen these players step on the court for their new teams yet, but it's never too early to start scouting the next crop of talent, right? Well, maybe it is, but we're doing it anyway in today's video. Today we're going to be doing a way too early mock draft for the 2024 NBA Draft, and while I know it's unrealistic to be trying to predict where each of these players will be drafted, you can still use this as an opportunity to get to know the next top prospects that are on the way, beginning their journeys in the fall. The order that the teams will be picking in this video is also going to be completely randomized, so do not take this as my predictions for where I believe the teams will finish in this upcoming season. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I'd also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. Starting things off with the number 1 pick, the Washington Wizards select Buzelis from G League Ignite. Unlike the 2023 draft, next year there is no predetermined number 1 top prospect sitting above the rest of the class. There are quite a few players in contention looking to solidify themselves at the top, and right now I slightly lean towards Buzelis as that guy. He is a 6'10" forward who plays like a guard, as someone who is at his best with the ball in his hands creating off of the dribble. He's a very good shooter at his size, he creates a ton of mismatches with his size, and he's going to be battle-tested before stepping foot in the NBA by joining the G League Ignite program to play against other professionals next year. He is a bit skinny, so adding strength will be a priority as time progresses, but his skill set is very intriguing for NBA scouts. Next up with the second pick, the Detroit Pistons select Holland of G League Ignite. That's right, the top 2 prospects in next year's draft will actually be teammates next season playing professional basketball to prepare themselves for the transition to the NBA. Tuning into G League Ignite games will be more intriguing than ever as we watch to see how Holland and Buzelis work together, who stands out more, and which one actually deserves to be the first name off the board. Holland brings it every single time he steps on the court with a tremendous motor, and as a 6'8" wing player with explosive athleticism and impressive quickness, his aggressiveness generates a ton of easy baskets at the rim. His 3-point shot could elevate him to the number 1 spot because it hasn't always been consistent, but at last year's U17 World Cup, he did shoot the ball very well, and if that continues, then he can absolutely overtake Buzelis. Next, with the third pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Zaccharie Risacher from France. Risacher is a long, versatile forward who provides pretty balanced production across the board and has shown a knack for creativity in his young career so far. He'll be playing in the French Pro League this upcoming season, so he too will be competing against pro talent in preparation for the NBA Draft. He's a capable perimeter shooter, he has demonstrated an impressive feel for the game both on and off the ball, is willing and able passer and playmaker, and he cuts well off the ball as well, finding open space and good looks at the basket. He's not necessarily someone who will jump out of the gym by any means, but he's a smart player with good physical tools to develop. Next, with the 4th pick, the San Antonio Spurs select Justin Edwards from Kentucky. Here we have the first collegiate prospect off the board, headlining an incredibly impressive Kentucky recruiting class looking to get back to their dominant ways in the college scene. Justin Edwards' floor as a prospect is very high, making him almost a shoo-in to become an impactful player at the next level. He's a stout defender who can defend multiple positions well, he's very athletic with good bounce, and he gets out in transition, and that's when he's at his best, becoming very tough to stop when he's pushing the pace. And he plays so hard, and his work ethic is not anything that scouts will be concerned with. His ceiling is still under review though, because he needs to prove that he can produce more when the game slows down and be more of a go-to guy if he wants to really solidify himself over some of the other top talent around him. Next, with the 5th pick, the Indiana Pacers select Isaiah Collier from USC. Collier is actually the number 1 ranked recruit in this recruiting class on ESPN's recruiting database, and by no means is he out of the running for the top spot in the draft either. He's the top ranked guard in the class as well, and to put it simply, he makes the game fun to watch. He brings a level of flair to his play every night, and it doesn't take away from his ability to dominate either, as he brings an intriguing mix of power, strength, creativity, creativity and playmaking to run the offense at a high level. His jumper is going to be what determines how early he goes though, as that's the one question mark that scouts have about his game right now. Next, with the 6th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select DJ Wagner from Kentucky. Wagner will be teaming up with Edwards at Kentucky, and as the son of former NBA player DeJuan Wagner, he's been on the NBA's radar for years now. He's a slightly undersized combo guard at 6'2", which may give scouts some hesitation with him, but in terms of production, he's put up in settings surrounded by other top prospects, and he's always stood out regardless. He's a tenacious scorer who can get to the rim at will, and his shooting ability has continued to take strides forward, so a good season at Kentucky should solidify himself as top 10 talent. Next, with the 7th pick, the Utah Jazz select Cody Williams from Colorado. Cody is actually the younger brother of Thunder rookie Jalen Williams, and coming into college, he's actually more highly touted than his brother was. The flashes of ball handling, playmaking, and shooting at 6'8" that he has shown make him a potential candidate to fly up draft boards throughout the year, but his game is still admittedly a bit raw and inconsistent, so the opposite could also happen where scouts realize he may need more time to develop than initially suspected. Up next, with the 8th pick, the Orlando Magic select Stephon Castle from Connecticut. Castle is headlining this year's recruiting class for the defending champion UConn Huskies, and with most of the primary contributors to that championship squad now in the NBA, he's entering a situation where he could easily step into a go-to role. Castle is a very solid point guard who makes plays for himself and others by way of passing the ball really well and threatening defenses as a competent 3-level scorer. He's not necessarily the most explosive athlete, but he's smart, and he gets to his spots so well. Next, with the 9th pick, the Houston Rockets select Aaron Bradshaw from Kentucky. As I said before, Kentucky has a loaded class coming in with 3 potential top 10 picks ready to take the college world by storm. Bradshaw will be the center anchoring things for them inside, but unfortunately, he's currently recovering from a foot injury that may slow down the early part of the season for him. When fully healthy, he's a tremendous shot blocker and overall defender, and what really separates him from other interior talents is the ridiculously impressive shooting range that he has in his arsenal while still asserting himself inside. And finally, with the 10th pick, the Chicago Bulls select Bronny James from USC. Bronny will be playing alongside Isaiah Collier this year, and he's going to have all eyes on him from the jump for pretty obvious reasons. Some may doubt him as a legitimate top talent in this class, but I think he could legitimately prove to be one of the best shooters in the whole class while also locking up on defense at a high level. You also can't ignore the fact that LeBron James has stated that he wants to play with his son before he retires. And the team that drafts Bronny James may also be getting LeBron when he hits free agency, so this could end up being a 2-for-1 draft pick, the likes of which we've never seen before. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts about next year's draft class. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.